Okay, why we'll lose this shape? One, everything is not the only fat pads. It starts from the bone to skin. So from the bone, what we have, especially in 3 areas, these areas are very important for me. We have bone losses. What are those areas? One, apertura piriformis. What happens when we lose the apertura piriformis? Of course, nasolabial fold becomes more and more obvious. What about the orbital rim? When we lose the orbital rim, of course, the medial SUV support decreases and the tear trough becomes more and more obvious as well. What about the mandible goes down and loses the support in the angle, and then the jowling becomes more and more faster. So everything starts from the bone. That's why in Teoxane we have the multi-layering technique. What is the multi-layering technique? Support bone and soft tissues in the same time. So we will talk about it, and that's why we will support in the multi-layering technique, starting from down to up. This is the case. And also, in some areas, we have bone deposition. In which area especially? In the forehead. So this deepens the glabellar region. And loss of teeth, of course, in periorals. Many patients come to you and around 50s, for example, and says that, "Doctor, my lips were perfect when I was in 20s. I want the same lips." You look and you see that everything went well, not only the lips, but also the bony supports around that area as well. So again and again, everything is not dependent just on the volume addition to the soft tissues, but also we have to support the bones as well. Okay, so what about the soft tissues? We all know that the soft tissues consists of deep and superficial fat pads, but also the muscles. So all change in the same time. And we know that we have muscles, and above the muscles we have superficial fat pads. It's something like that. When a muscle contracts, if an area is just above it, then it will contract and it will move with the mimics. So we have dynamic compartments in the face and we have static compartments in the face. So in the multi-layering manner, we use the deep fat pads that do not move with the mimics to support the bone and to mimic the bone, okay, for me, and superficial fat pads to support the dynamic areas. So it means that I need a filler that is very strong to put on deep layers, and I need some superficial fillers that will move with the mimics and will give us a good dynamism. Okay, let's continue. Let's see this aging video. We all know that 2 types of fat pads we have. In the superficial fat pads, as you see, almost all degrade in volume, but the nasolabial fat pads increases by time. I will talk it again in the next slide as well. And the deep cheek fats, we have 3. We all know that they both decrease in volume and they reposition. They sag down. Okay, so a little bit, it leads to less support. So, in the fat pads, what we have in some areas, atrophy. Which areas are atrophied? We can say that the periorbital, buccal, perioral area, deep cheek fat pads, and so they go down. But we have some hypertrophied areas as well. For example, when I do mid-facelifts in my surgeries, I do a liposuction to nasolabial fat pad as well. Because even you do very good mid-facelift, if the nasolabial fat pad is too much than needed, you will have again a deep sulcus here, whatever you do, whatever if you lift it. So sometimes I started to do some lipo in my even facelifts in nasolabial folds. What else? In jowling. We have also excess fat pad in the jowling area. And what else? We have in double chin region. We may need some taking excess fat. So in 3 areas, we don't need replacements. Nasolabials directly, just in the fat pads, the jowling region, the jowl, and the area of the, of course, double chin area. So what else we have? not only they're going down with time because of the gravity. So we need also to replace it in the right places, not in the places that they are normally now. We have to replace the fat pads just in their original places when we were young. What about the muscles? There's a very good publication regarding that, and as I remember, it was from Dr. Travidik as well, but especially in facial muscles, they have seen that the patients that has facial paralysis in one side, the one with the paralysis, the neck, aging is slower. So, in time, it has been also shown that muscles lengthen with age and they increase their tonus. That's why we do some toxins in the platysma muscle to relax it and to make the neck younger. And also the amplitude of the movements of the muscles are smaller, and so they become more in the tonus, and we have to relax those muscles as well. And so they deepen all the folds and other parts. So we have to do some toxins. That's why we use toxins and the fillers in combination too much. Okay. Of course, the skin as well. That's why we have the redensity one too. We need to support the skin too. So we always have to understand that we will have less hyaluronic acid. We will have fewer fibroblasts, and so we will produce less collagen by time, but also we will have more elastin, and it will make our skin less firm and less elastic and more rigid.